battery in. Somebody got some answers. Somebody looking out for them and they don't even realize it. You think everything is crumbling and things are going to dirt. But this is the tower falling. Your old way of thinking, your old way of being, your old life is falling. And you feel like things are falling apart, but they're actually those looking out for you that are helping things align the way that you've been calling in into your new frequency. When things start breaking down, when they start changing, that lets you know that the work is working, the work is being done, the manifestation is working. I'm getting 1/7. Somebody can be born January 7th or on the 17th of a month. Somebody could be 17. This is the tower falling. This is things seem like they're falling apart when it's really your ancestors or things or people that you love or people that love you looking out for you. There's a lot of unseen entities here. There's a lot of ghosts, so-called spirits that are looking out for you, and they're kind of orchestrating these things behind the scenes for you. The things that you don't see by your prayers or by your thoughts and your manifestations and things that you're calling in, what you naturally resonate on. Somebody could be a life path 5. Somebody could like the number 5. Somebody could be born on the 5th. Somebody could have a 5-year-old, a 5-year baby. The Queen of Roses. Somebody is learning how to pour love back into themselves. Somebody's giving themselves flowers instead of waiting on somebody else to do it for them. And this is you. This is just the feminine you being able to balance the feminine aspect within you and give the feminine qualities of yourself the love that you've been projecting or feeling like should come from someone else. You're starting to realize that it was you all along, that you've been waiting on you. The best love is self-love. Saying give yourself flowers while you're alive. Don't wait until you pass on to receive your flowers. Or don't wait until you get in a relationship to get those flowers. Like you don't date yourself just to call in somebody else to date you. Date yourself because you love yourself, because it feels good to you, because you deserve it, because you realize that the love came from you in the first place. Even though you might put the responsibility or give somebody else the credit, it was you all along. It's always been you. And it will always be you, even when you do get in a relationship and you're trying to say that it's somebody else that's loving you. The Oracle of Delphi. The Oracle of Delphi. Somebody has intuitive messages and powers that they don't even realize or they didn't know they had until now, until this moment. And as things start to manifest in your life, you'll see how much that you've actually called in. Somebody could be born in January, somebody could be born on the 1st, or somebody could just like the number 1. But this is you standing in your power and being able to see that the things that are happening in your life is because you ask for them. Like when you pray for peace or you ask for peace from whatever you believe in, when you call it in or manifest it, you're not just zapped with peaceful feelings. You're given the opportunity to remain in peace, to be peaceful. Same thing with love. When you're looking for love or calling in love, you're not just zapped with love, love, love. No, you're given the opportunity to love yourself, to realize that the love comes from within, that to remove those blocks and those programs that you feel like are are the stipulation, are the dictators on the love that you've always had for yourself, that you've always been. That love, that joy, that peace. There is no separation. There is nothing else but you. That is your truth. That is who you naturally truly are. 7 of Skulls. Intricacies in industry. Somebody putting in work. Again, this is manifestation. Somebody been building and they feel like they're almost done building, but it seems like things are starting to fall apart. The more that things start to resonate and things start to fall in place, it's like you kind of see things falling apart at the same time, but they're not falling apart. They're falling into place, into what you're calling in. Beeth, birth, be it. I'm getting be it. From when you were born, when you first came into being, you were already it. You are it now. This is saying be it. Don't wait for something to tell you that you are it. Don't wait for something outside of you to show you what you already are. This is telling you to be it now and to realize and to remember who you truly are, who you've always been. from birth. The way that you naturally come in when you're born, or how we come in when we manifest ourselves into this reality, is the truth of who you are. The natural joy, that peace, that love that you don't have to be taught or you don't put into the hands of other people or think that it comes from other people. It just doesn't have any blocks there. That's why babies are able to love so easily or to be so free. That's why babies don't really suffer unless those around them cause them to suffer with their own programming. Have the mind of a baby when you were born, the mind of a child, the mind of a little one, without any programming, without any beliefs and belies, without any veils over their eyes. This is especially a newborn baby, but babies alone, children, even though they're constantly being programmed every day, they still are more connected to the originality and the source and the primordial sovereign being that we naturally are. And you are already that. You are still that. You just have a lot of things in the way. You have a lot of things kind of covering it, kind of growing around it. A lot of things that are veiling or distorting the flow of what you already are. You are already aligned. You just have some things in the way that you put there or have allowed to be put there without knowing any better through programming and just through life, through experience alone, through experience itself. Once you realize and remember that you are still that, you have never been separate from that oneness, from that truth. You can never be separate from that oneness, from that truth. You just have something in the way of it. And once you remove those veils, once you remove that doubt, once you remove the questions and the hearsay, you will see and you will realize that you have always been that. There's not any separation. We're caught in the ruins. As we grow, as we evolve, as we live, we tend to get caught up in other people's ideals, other people's programs, the world's feelings and their thoughts and their projections. This is calling you to get out of the ruins, to get out of that mentality that doesn't serve you. If it doesn't feel good, it's not for you. If it doesn't feel like love, peace, and joy, it's a lie. It's not the truth. Because there is only you. There is only love, peace, and joy. Everything else is distortion. Everything else is illusion. Everything else is temporary. But what doesn't change is the natural, sovereign, primordial being that you are. Beingness itself, awareness itself, consciousness itself. The one that hears you even when the mouth does not speak. The one that sees you even when the body is asleep. The you that you refer yourself to, no matter what stage of life you are in, whether you are a baby or whether you are an adult or a teenager or a girl or a boy, that you doesn't change. The body changes. The mentality even changes. The experience changes. The feelings change. But the one thing that does not change is the truth of who you are, and that is the awareness itself, consciousness itself, the knowingness itself, the you behind these eyes, the you behind this avatar, the you behind the mask. That which doesn't change is the truth. Anything that does change is an illusion. And it doesn't make it good or bad or right or wrong. It just makes it part of the experience. Don't even judge the fact that you forgot or you allowed things to cloud your judgment or to program you, whether you knew or not, unaware or aware. Don't even judge it. Don't judge it as right or wrong. Understand that that comes with the territory and being physical in this dimension, in this body, in this experience through these eyes. To be able to feel, touch, taste, hear, speak, see. There has to be contrast. There has to be duality. There has to be light within the darkness. Have you ever noticed how it's always dark? No matter whether the sun is shining or not, the darkness doesn't leave. That is essentially who and what you truly are. You are the darkness. And the things that arise, like the body and the perception and the feelings and the touch, the physical aspect of things, the things that change, that is the light. That is the sun that moves around within the darkness. But you are the darkness itself, the darkness that never leaves, the everything, the nothing that never changes. You just allow your perception and your perspective to shine light on the things that you choose to experience. Just like this body, just like the feelings, the touching, the taste, the food, the people, the places. All of that is the light being shown, the light shining. But just look at it in the truthfulness that it is. There's no such thing as day and night. It's only the light and the lack thereof. And it doesn't make it good or bad. Once again, that's part of the experience, the contrast. It's the light and the darkness. Dark isn't bad or good, light isn't bad or good. That's just part of the experience. It's always dark. That's what you are. That's what we are, the collective consciousness. But each perspective, each person, each being is the light that shines, the sun that moves around and reflects that experience back to us. But the real you never leaves. The darkness never sleeps. The darkness never leaves. But the sun rotates to illuminate the experience. Ooh, too many. Yeah, one or two at a time. Yeah, I don't know messages. I have a lot to say here. Autism. It's autism. There's a spiritual guardian angel. It's like you have these beings behind you that are guiding you and talking to you, and a lot of those are the thoughts that we have. We get a lot of thoughts and downloads from these beings that are watching out for us. But they're just different perspectives of you. They're different consciousnesses. They're different ancestors, different perspectives or perceptions. But it's all you. It's you talking to yourself, even in this moment, even in the things that you hear coming from me. These are messages from you to you through somebody else seemingly, but it's still you. It's just on your frequency, on your in your resonance. For you wouldn't be able to see me or hear me if you didn't align with me at a certain level of frequency and understanding and truth. It's like we are oneness, we are always one, but we are never alone in the aspect that we are everything. And we get to experience ourselves in different forms while still simultaneously being one and everything, one thing and many things at the same time. It's really beautiful. And 22, the balance, the middle ground. And the only thing that makes things good or bad or positive or negative is your judgment upon it. That's your free will. You can choose to view life whichever way you choose. We're not really creating anything. We're just aligning with things that are already created and choosing what we want to experience. You want to keep judging, you want to keep calling things good or bad, that's your prerogative, that's your choice. But when you get tired of it, you'll learn to live from the middle ground. You'll learn to see all as perfection. You'll learn to be thankful, and gratitude will flood your life just for the experience alone, just for the experience itself, and knowing that all things are necessary in order to experience anything. It's a perfect balance. It's a divine balance. There is no separation except for the one that we've created in order to be able to experience. To be able to experience talking to someone else or to experience talking to yourself, you have to have different perspectives. You have to have an observer and the observed. We are the observed, the body, the flesh, the physical aspect. But the observer is who all of us are. There is that one observer, that one consciousness within all of us. Just being able to see from that specific perspective, from that specific soul, from that specific body, from those specific eyes. But the I that we all speak of, that consciousness, that awareness, is one. It's only one. It's an illusion to think there's more than one. We're all big illusions in the one consciousness that we are. But that's the beauty of it. The experience, again, the contrast, the seeming separation. For without the so-called separation or the different perspectives, we wouldn't have experience. We wouldn't be able to see what it's like to remember, to see what it's like to feel, to grow, to evolve, to just be. It's all necessary. Oneness is duality on the opposite side of the coin. For oneness can exist without duality, and duality can exist without oneness. They're simultaneously created. They're simultaneously infinite. Duality is oneness. It's just like light is dark. They are the same energy, the same thing, just at different perspectives, different frequencies. Positive is negative. Just different perspectives. Light is dark, like I was just talking about how the sun moves around the darkness. They are one and the same, for without the other, neither would exist. There would be nothing to compare it to. There would be no contrast. Even the nothing, even nothing has a contrast, which is everything. The nothingness is the everythingness, or the everything or the all. For without the other, there's nothing to compare it to. There's nothing to gauge it. It simply would not be able to exist without its other side of the coin, without its contrast. There would be no light without dark. There would be no oneness without duality. There would be no positive without negative. There would be no good without bad. You learn to live from the middle ground and knowing that all is necessary for anything else to exist. Then you take away all suffering. You take away all confusion instantaneously. Remove the judgment. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is bad. Unless you say it is. All is divine. All is perfection. And it's like it takes time to get out of that mind state, out of that mentality, and calling things perfect, or feeling like they have to be good or bad, or something wrong with you. If you call the things that are just the worst of the worst, if you say, oh, that's not bad, or that's not wrong, or that's not negative, the judgment is what makes it negative. Knowing that you can't have love without hate. You can't have protection or safety without danger. They are one and the same, for neither can exist without its opposite. And when you get to that deep understanding, that realization, again, all suffering ceases. When you understand that separation is illusion, thinking that things are opposite, and they're not the same thing, just on different perspectives, that's separation, that's the illusion. But when you understand that all is necessary, all the opposites are necessary for that thing alone to exist, that's when you remove all suffering. That's when you stop teeter-tottering on the good and the bad, positive, negative, right and wrong. That's when you realize and remember that all is perfect, all is divine. For there will be no experience, not even of the oneness, without the duality that we are. Are you done? Do I have any more messages? Oh, excuse me. Do you have anything else? Two more times. One more time. No, I think you're done. done for now. Maybe I'll be back on later. But the line is pretty clear now. I want to get off of here. Thank you. Bye bye.